Hello everybody. I thought that I would come to you today and present to you the other desktop computer that I put together and share that with you. I had talked yesterday a little bit about the rig that I have with my 3700X in it. And so to give you a little bit of history on that, I started my journey on building computers with the rig that I showed you yesterday. It's my super rig now, kind of. But initially, when I put that computer together, it had a Ryzen 3400G in it, and I had thought, well, I'm going to try this. I'm going to put together a budget build and try to do a Ryzen 3400G and see how that works out. And then I decided, I got to get a graphics card for it, so I bought a 1660 NVIDIA 1660 graphics card for it, and didn't really care for the performance out of the 1660 that much. So then I jumped on and I went ahead and bought a Radeon RX 5700 a Powercolor Red Devil graphics card, and I put that in that computer. Just loved it, and talked a little bit about, and I've got some other videos about this stuff, but I went ahead and decided at that point that I needed to upgrade my processor, and I had talked a little bit about getting a 3600, a Ryzen 5 3600 processor for that computer, just to improve things a little bit more from the processor standpoint. And now that computer has an MSI Gaming Plus Max in it, motherboard, and it had 16 gigs of Corsair 3200 megahertz RAM. And so I skipped the 3600 and went to the 3700X, and super duper happy with that. It's 8-core 16-thread processor. It's a Ryzen 7, fantastic processor. And I also bought 3600 megahertz RAM that had some unicorn vomit along with it. So you guys, if you watch those videos, any other videos that I've put together, you'll see that particular rig. But the conversation today is about the additional rig that I bought, that I had put together after upgrading to the 3700X in my other rig. And I had the 3400G laying around after that, and I'm like, well, I'm going to go ahead and put together another computer, like something I can just kind of game with and maybe mess around with it. To be honest, what it was I just fell in love with building computers, and so I was looking for any excuse that I could to build a computer. So I jumped online. I went and I bought the MSI Gaming Plus Max B450 motherboard again, and bought a power supply. And at that point in time, I had the Corsair 3200 megahertz RAM. I purchased another RAM, which was the G-Skill Trident Z 3600 megahertz RAM with the RGB, and I put that in my supercomputer. And then I was going to move this Corsair Vengeance 3200 megahertz RAM that I had and put it into the other build. So I buy the motherboard, power supply. I had hard drive already, and got it up and running with 3400G. And then, well, I couldn't do it. I mean, the 3400G is a fantastic processor. Don't get me wrong. However, I just couldn't help myself. I'm like, got to get a graphics card for this. And so went ahead and bought a 5600, a Radeon RX 5600 XT. And I bought another Red Devil, another Powercolor Red Devil graphics card, because I thought that the 5700 that I bought was just a fantastic card. And so I throw that in there with the 3400G, and then I'm going forward, and I'm like, oh man, I'm really curious about that 6-core 12-thread processor, the 3600 that everybody's talking about. Not that the 3400G is a bad processor, do not take it that way, but I'll tell you what broke the camel's back, and that was VR. I have a VR headset, and when I set this computer up and I got the graphics card for it, I kind of wanted to use my VR headset in my upstairs room, and so I'm going to call this more my console computer, because it's kind of in a room that's a little bigger, has a little more relaxed seating, and I play mostly games with a controller on it. Now, first-person shooters, I love mouse and keyboard. Don't get me wrong, and I'll tell you what, I'll tell a whole story about that later, about switching over from controller to that, and being a console gamer and then turning into a PC Master Race. But moving forward, this was it right here. That Rift, I bought a Rift S, and I fell in love with that thing, and I'm playing it on my other computer downstairs, and I'm like, I wonder if I can make it work with this new graphics card I got. So I put it on my computer, and guess what? Nope, it was skipping, and it wasn't doing real great, and I narrowed it down to probably the processor, because I switched out the graphics card on my computer downstairs, and it ran just fine. But and some of the games ran fine on that 3400G, but it wasn't the ideal experience. So I decided to upgrade to the 3600, and so here it is. Here is the rig. We're going to take a look at it right here. This is the rig, and so behind that fan, and that is a Wraith Spire cooler that came with the 3400G that I went ahead and put on this one. There's the Ryzen 5 3600 Corsair Vengeance RAM, and Powercolor Red Devil 5600 XT. Still got a little bit of ketchup and mustard in this case. I still need to purchase some additional cable sleeves. Now I've got some here, but this is the NZXT case as well, and I really like this case. I think it's really nice. It's got a lot of good channels for cable management. So, next thing is I need to buy some more cables, sleeve cables, and probably put them in. And I probably will replace these ones here, the red and white, red and black with white and black. So, anyway, there you have it. And it's running cool. I don't have any fans on the front there. That's open. I've got a fan on the top, and I've got an exhaust fan there in the back. And the temperatures on this are decent. I may at some point go ahead and put some fans in the front, but it hasn't been a real issue. So there you have it. 7 minutes. Most of it was talking about the journey to get here, but I really do enjoy this computer. And like I said, it's kind of I'm going to call it my console computer, because it's more in a relaxed position here. I've got it on a TV rather than a monitor, and so whenever I just want to kind of veg out a little bit and I don't want to sit at my desk and take things real seriously, I play on this. And a lot of the times what I'm playing on this is the games that are more convenient to use controllers with. I don't really play Call of Duty on here anymore, because I'll tell you what, using controller in comparison to mouse and keyboard is just kind of a disappointing thing. But I play some of the Halo games, and I play quite a bit of Mortal Kombat competitively on this system right here. So there you have it. Thanks for your time, and hit a like if you thought this content was okay. And I will continue to put together some stuff. A near coming video, maybe I'll record some of the performance off of this computer and talk a little bit about during that time about my transition from console gamer into PC gamer. Have a great day. Thanks for your time.